In old China, when the empire still believed that mountains had spirits and rivers had memory, there lived a monk named Xuanzang. People tell his story like an adventure. They say he traveled with a monkey, a pig, a river monster, and a white horse. They say they fought demons and crossed burning lands. But the truth is quieter and darker, because only one person walked to the west. The rest walked inside him. On the morning Xuanzang left the capital, the sky was the color of wet ash. Mist clung to the road like a warning. Bells rang from distant temples, not joyful bells, heavy ones, like a funeral for a comfortable life. The emperor offered him protection, soldiers, wealth, a safe route. Xuanzang refused. He carried only a staff, a small bag, and a promise to go to the west and bring back the teachings that could free suffering minds. At the city gate, an old abbot stopped him and said, "The west is far." Xuanzang nodded. The abbot lowered his voice, "And the road isn't the hardest part." Xuanzang asked, "Then what is?" The abbot looked at him with tired kindness. "What follows you?" Xuanzang didn't understand. Not yet. He stepped onto the road, and before he reached the first mountain, he met his first demon. Not horns, not claws, a town, a crowd, lanterns flickering on wet stone, voices overlapping like waves. Xuanzang thought he could rest, but the moment he stepped into the noise, a man approached with a friendly smile. "Master," said the stranger warmly, "we have heard of your holy journey. Please, come, eat with us, sleep in comfort." Behind him, others nodded. Their eyes were bright, too bright. Xuanzang felt the monkey mind whisper, "Finally, safety." He felt something else whisper too, "Finally, approval." He almost followed. Then he noticed something small. The stranger's smile changed too quickly, like a mask being adjusted. The laughter around them felt practiced. The kindness felt like a net. Xuanzang stepped back and said, "Thank you, but I will stay outside the walls tonight." The stranger's eyes hardened, just for an instant. Then the voice turned cold. "Outside the walls," he said. "Do you think you are above us?" Xuanzang said nothing. The stranger leaned closer, words sharpening like blades. "People will call you arrogant. You will look foolish. You will fail. You will come crawling back." And Xuanzang felt it hit him like a fist. Not the words, the intention behind them. This demon didn't carry a weapon. It carried opinion. It carried shame. It wanted to steer his direction with the fear of being misunderstood. The monkey mind panicked. "They're judging you." A deeper craving rose. "Explain yourself. Be liked. Be safe." Xuanzang breathed once. Then he said calmly, "If your kindness becomes anger the moment I say no, then it was never kindness." The stranger's smile vanished. The crowd went quiet. For a heartbeat, the town felt like a mouth ready to swallow him. Xuanzang turned and walked away. Not fast, not dramatic, just steady. And behind him, the demon's voice chased him like stones. "Coward, fake monk, who do you think you are?" Xuanzang did not answer, because he understood something early. The demon of opinion grows stronger every time you argue with it. That night he slept under open sky. The wind was cold, but it was honest. And in the dark he whispered to himself, "The monsters outside are loud, but the monsters inside decide whether I follow." And that is when the monkey revealed itself. Not a real monkey, not fur and teeth, but the monkey in every human skull. The moment Xuanzang tried to rest, his mind began to jump. It threw him memories at him like stones, and then it threw him futures at him too, futures that didn't exist. What if you fail? What if you die? What if you were never chosen? What if this is pointless? His thoughts jumped from branch to branch, never landing. It wasn't just noise, it was a thief. It stole his peace and replaced it with scenarios that hadn't even happened yet. And that's why the legends call it Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, because the mind is powerful, fast, brilliant, and impossible to rule unless you train it. Xuanzang opened his eyes. His hands were shaking, not from cold, but from the weight of his own thoughts. So he spoke quietly. If I cannot control my own mind, then demons don't even need to attack me. And he made his first vow. I will not obey every thought just because it appears. The monkey screamed, but it stayed, because the mind never leaves. It only becomes trained, or it becomes your master.
Days passed. Dust coated his robe, his feet cracked, and then Xuanzang met another monster, a village struck by hunger. Children stared at him with empty eyes. A mother offered him half a bowl of rice, half. Xuanzang's throat tightened, not just from sadness, from temptation, and the pig inside him woke up. Not a real pig, but the pig that lives in the chest. Desire, craving, the constant hunger for more. It whispered, "Take it. You're the one on the holy journey. Your mission is bigger than these strangers. You deserve to survive." Desire always sounds reasonable. It always has a good argument. Xuanzang looked at the bowl, then at the child, and he saw the truth. External monsters are the world's suffering. Internal monsters decide what you become in front of it. He took a smaller portion, he left something behind, and he walked away with an ache in his chest. That night he dreamed of feasts. He woke up ashamed, as if he had betrayed himself without moving. He realized the pig doesn't attack like a demon. It negotiates. It says, "Later, tomorrow, just this once." So he made his second vow. I will let desire speak, but I will not let it drive. The pig grunted and followed, because desire never leaves either. It only becomes guided, or it becomes a chain. And then the demon of urgency arrived. Days turned into weeks. The road became a flat gray line. Xuanzang was walking steadily when he heard hoofbeats behind him, fast, frantic. A merchant on a black horse galloped past, dust flying. He stopped, looked back at Xuanzang's calm pace, and shouted, "Monk, why do you walk like a turtle? The passes will close in winter. The markets will change. The opportunity will vanish. If you don't run, you will arrive too late to matter." Then he kicked his horse and disappeared into the horizon. Xuanzang stood alone in the settling dust. Silence returned, but peace did not, because the merchant had left a demon behind, the demon of urgency. Suddenly the monkey mind began to scream, "He's right! We're too slow! Look at him! He is winning! We're wasting time!" Xuanzang's heart beat faster. His legs wanted to run. He felt the panic of being behind. This is the most dangerous demon of the modern world. It doesn't tell you to stop. It tells you to rush. It tells you your current speed is a failure. Xuanzang took a breath. He looked at the empty road ahead, and he realized the merchant was running toward a market. Xuanzang was walking toward a truth. Different destinations require different speeds. He whispered to his own mind, "If I run, I will lose my breath. If I lose my breath, I will lose my mind. And if I arrive at the West with a broken mind, if I have arrived nowhere." He did not chase the dust. He took one step, slow, deliberate, his. Because he understood, the demon of urgency steals the journey to sell you the destination.
Weeks became months, mountains rose like black walls, rivers cut the land like scars, storms arrived without warning, bandits smiled before they threatened, deserts offered horizons that looked like lies. And one day, Xuanzang reached a river so wide it looked like moving night. He stepped in. The current grabbed him. The water felt heavy like wet concrete. Every time he kicked against it, the river swallowed his energy and pulled him deeper. The monkey screamed, "You're dying!" The pig begged, "Turn back, choose comfort." And that's when the river monk appeared. They call him Sha Bu Jing in the old tale, but what he really was endurance.
The part of you that stays when motivation dies. Xuanzang clawed his way to a rock and collapsed. Rain fell, cold, steady, merciless. He wanted to cry the quiet kind of tears, the kind that comes when a person realizes no one is coming to save them. Then something inside him spoke. Not loud, not inspiring, just calm and plain. "Stand." Xuanzang whispered, "I can't." The voice replied, "Then stand slowly." He rose. His body trembled. His mind complained. His desire begged. But endurance did not argue. It just stayed. And Xuanzang understood. Endurance is the quietest monster of all. It doesn't promise victory. It doesn't promise hope. It only promises one more step. And sometimes that is the only thing that saves you. That night he made his third vow. "I will not wait to feel ready. I will walk anyway." Finally, the last companion revealed itself, the white horse. In the legend, it carries him. In truth, it is his body. One morning, Xuanzang's knees buckled. His vision blurred. He tasted blood. He thought, "I am failing." But it wasn't spiritual failure. It was physical reality. So he stopped, not because he gave up, but because he understood. Even the strongest vow needs a living spine. He ate. He rested. He treated his body not as a slave, but as a horse that must be cared for. And in that care, something softened. His mind grew quieter. His cravings weakened. His endurance became steadier. Months later, Xuanzang reached the West, or what the story calls the West. But it wasn't a place with golden temples. It was a moment. On a high ridge where the wind was clean and the sky was wide, Xuanzang saw something with terrifying clarity. He had not crossed a continent. He had crossed himself. The monsters outside were real. They were the world. Opinion, hunger, urgency, weather, people, random cruelty. You don't get to vote on that. But the monsters inside were the ones that decided his fate. The monkey was still there, but it no longer ruled the throne. The pig was still there, but it no longer chose his direction. Endurance still walked with him, quiet as stone, and his body still carried him faithfully. And that is why the story had 5 travelers, because the journey is always made of many parts, but only one person leads. So if you are walking through your own struggle right now, remember this: the world will bring you monsters, but you still get to decide who travels with you on the inside. Your monkey mind, your pig of desire, your river of endurance, your horse of flesh. You don't need to kill them. You need to lead them, because the real journey is becoming the master of the caravan. And if you don't lead them, they will lead you.